Alright guys, the Super Typhoon did really good on the road, but it crashed. I need a wider space, guys. I can't even control this thing. Ooh, straight into the thing, and I crashed in. I'm not broken. Bam! The control arm broke off. Definitely gonna need a bigger and wider space. Super Stretch Typhoon is down and out. There we have it, guys. The Typhoon broke down on a test drive. I knew it was gonna happen. It was too close to the curve, but there it is. The Typhoon, Super Typhoon crashed. There it is again, guys. Once again, the Typhoon is crashed and broken. And we broke a whole bunch of stuff here. Not a whole bunch of stuff. We broke the lower control arm from right here. The shock came apart. A little screw that goes through here is gone. Probably go back to the side. I think it was hanging onto it, and I just maneuvered it around too much. I probably dropped it in the grass, but it's gone. Right? We still got the axle shaft right there. We can simply put this little guy back in there. Alright, so all we need to do is get a control arm. Nothing else really got damaged. It was just a quick damage. I'm gonna show you. Here, take a look. So the Typhoon just swerved straight into this little guy, this little pole, this wooden pole. My friend Max crashed in there. Every single car we broke down in that spot, it crashed into that same pole. Alright, so we're gonna avoid that little pole. Alright, but everything else is intact. No other damages. Right, so we need to get a lower control arm and the bolt, this bolt right here, we need to get that one, and that's about it. All right, and that should take care of it. Maybe there's some piece inside this shock here. I don't know if there's supposed to be a piece in it, but I'll remove this one, see what's in there, and then I'll show you a video once it's all, when I'm repairing this little guy. All right, but it's pretty good on the road. Give us pretty much, it did its work, so everything is working in order. Anyways, all right guys, so don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share and like all of my videos, and we're gonna make this thing fly. We're just gonna need a better road than what we went on. All right, so let's wait and continue. All right, so we need to pick up the control arm and a shock, or probably the shock for the Typhoon, but let's see what Mr. Phil at the hobby shop got. I'm not gonna be recording over there, but I'm headed my way to the hobby shop. It's gonna take me good like 20-30 minutes to get there, and once I pick everything up, I will be making a video of installing everything, and you guys are gonna see it anyway. Stuck behind this little truck here. Let's change lanes. Always give a signal. Alright. And this sunset here is making you go crazy. Always go after work, so that's how it is. Let's change the lane back. We're almost there, guys. Probably like another 10 minutes. Alright, so stay tuned. Alright guys, walking to the hobby shop. There's a sign right there. He's on this side. And gonna pick up if he has the control arm for the Typhoon and the little bolt for the shock. I'm probably gonna need a new shock, but anyways, here we are. This is the shop right here. This is the hobby shop in Kearney. That's his sign. He got hell of a great stuff in here. Look at this. I like that little guy right there. Yeah, DX5C. Alright guys, so we extended our Typhoon. We made it into a Super Typhoon. And guess what? when I took it for a drive, it did crash, and this is a continuing of the video, so I'm updating you because I made the video for how it crashed and everything, what I was gonna do on it. But week and a half later, got the pieces. I got some pieces in there, and this is the piece I was waiting for. These are little just ball joints in there, like a ball joint. They're like just round balls with the holes in the center, and I'm gonna show you where that go. Cause I lost that piece. I had it in the park, but I must have dropped it somewhere. And it took a really long time for me to get this piece. Everything else, a hobby store guy had it in stock. But anyways, the Typhon, I have some pieces under this body because I just kept it with the body. So the Typhon took a hit. I hit a post in the park, and it hit really hard. The control arm broke here. And on the shock, we lost a little ball here where the screw goes through. All right, so there's gonna be a simple fix. What we're gonna do here is let me take off this body first. We got this control arms. It comes as a set. We got the little screw that goes right through here, that goes through the shock. All right, that's in this package. It comes with 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. And then this thing that goes in the center of this lower base of the shock. Anyways, let's get this thing going. All right, so first of all, we're gonna have to remove that tire. All right, to remove that tire, we're gonna need our tools here. What do we have here? All right, it's like a 17 millimeter. I even have my meter set on it. This thing went up to like 40 some miles per hour, and I really didn't have a good space in the park. All right, and there we have that, guys. And down here, guys, we're gonna have to remove this ball joint out of the place, or we could just leave it in there and then just tighten it up on the new one. So maybe we can grab it with something and just turn it, and we don't even have to touch that. So let me go get a little plier. If it works, I will be in luck. All right. If it doesn't, then we need to dismount everything. Yeah, I'm not in luck. It's never luck here. All right, so you have a bigger Allen here, but if you reach deep inside, you do have another Allen that you could put on this, and there you go. We could turn it that way. All right. So we could just turn this control arm, the broken arm. It has a little spacer here, guys. Don't lose that. We're gonna put that right back in. All right, that's for alignment purposes. All right, but you can turn this guy, keep going with it. This is just screwed in, all right? A lot of videos, guys, on repairs because, of course, bashing is breaking. BB, bashing and breaking. All right, that's what that stands for. So there's some of the piece. We are gonna take that screw off a little bit. With a different size Allen, but down below here we're gonna have to remove this front bumper piece here. So maybe we can just tilt this guy sideways, all right, just like so. And we're gonna remove these 2 screws here, and we should be able to get the little guy out of there. Let me find the correct size here. Alright, there I have it, and I'm able to use my drill on this one. I need to gather the tools, more tools for my drill, because I have a good drill here, but nothing that's gonna fit on it. And this thing I had laying around is garbage. Alright, it's made by Cobalt. It's garbage. Look at this. Alright, and even these bits are garbage. Go Snap-on, go something better, guys. Alright, let me see if this is the correct size for it. And I think that little guy stripped my little screw here. Alright, there it is. Got it out. I do have my front other shock loose because I wanted to find the piece. I want to show it to the hobby guy. He had no idea what the piece that I was looking for. So once you have those two, this guy should come off, and then we can put this back on our little trolley there, the lift. Alright, and now we need to remove this screw right here, which is going to be a smaller size. And I have a whole bunch of Allens here. The sizes are totally different for everything. Let me grab a few and come over. Alright, that's not the size for it. So what is the size for it? Okay, I think this is the size for it. Alright, so I think I have. Why am I taking that out when I think I don't need to? We can pull this guy out. This little shaft, we can pull it off. Alright, let's move the shock out of the way. So let's pull this guy out. There you go, guys. Very simple. Pull out this rod. You don't need to remove that screw. That was a mistake by me. But let's get this control arm out. And we do have another screw back here holding the little sway bar linkage there. Alright, so we need to remove that screw. Let me see if this can fit on it right here. Yep, there you go. Once this come out, you should be able to take out that sway bar linkage there. Alright, there it is. And we have the rest of the control arm out. There's a little screw right here. We'll take that off, put it onto the new one if it does have the same hole in there. Alright, let's grab the new control arm. So I'm going to open the packages pretty neatly because I'm going to leave behind the other control arm for the opposite side. So let's splice the bag. And let's see which one is right and which one is left. Alright, according to this, alright, what am I looking at here? Alright, so this is the opposite side, I believe so. Let me just match this guy up. So if that was sitting like so, I'm just trying to figure out how this sits. There you go, that's how it sits. And alright, so this control arm is correct. Alright, so this is the correct piece. So what I'll do here is, there's a little screw here. This little screw, we're going to take that off. This is what it goes through the shock, alright? That's what goes through the shock. So I'm going to leave it loose there. I'm going to leave it there just like so. I just want to make sure I do have the control arm correct. So yeah, so I do have it correct. Alright. This little guy, I don't think it has any function, or does it? But it's in there. And we'll just remove it. Weight always matters, guys. So if there's something in there, just put it back together the way it is. Alright, and we'll take this little guy and we'll stick it in and we'll tighten it up. That goes in there. Oops. Alright guys, I'm going to level it, flush it to where it was at. Right there, right? And our next step is going to be putting the little guy in. We're going to be putting on this little guy right here. The sway bar linkage. Before we do the linkage, let's just stick in the control arm. And the linkage can take its spot anytime. Right? Or we can put it now, it's all up to you. But I think I'm gonna put in the control arm first. Take your rod, stick it right through, guys. Make sure it goes all the way through, alright? Sometimes you might have to tap it. Alright, if it doesn't align on the other end, it's not gonna go in properly. So just line it and then tap it, right? So wiggle it around if you need to. Or you can grab it with your needle nose, move it around, and eventually it should go in. There you go. Alright guys, we have that. While we at it, I'll put this one in later. I just want to finish up the job on this side. Alright, next we can take our sway bar linkage and stick that in to its spot. Alright, and don't forget our little screw here, which goes right through here. It goes right through the sway bar linkage. And need my Allen key here. Now it's gonna be tougher because I have the control arm in the spot. I should have done this first. So do this first, guys, because now all you can do like a quarter of a turn or half of a turn. Once you have the control arm sticking out, and then you can just turn it all the way. So the Super Typhon is back in business. We'll do a lot of runs with this over the weekend. Alright, I got this guy in. So the Typhon been sitting for over a week. Alright, that's nice and tight. Alright guys, next step is what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in the axle. Make sure you line the axle, because once you tighten this little guy right here, the axles are going to go in there the way it's supposed to, right? And then we can take our little screw here, and don't forget the spacer, right guys? I'm going to be getting to the spacer. It might disturb you because you're going to have to get the axle perfectly and push this up with it so it sits straight. You don't want to tighten this thing crooked. Again, should have had done that first also, guys. This is my first repair with Typhon, so if you're doing this, just do it the other way around instead of the way I'm doing. So let me catch a couple of threads on this. So it's a self thread screw, so you're gonna have to make threads there. That's the only part I hate about these plastic components here, because none of them has threads, you know. So you need to find the threads, make the threads, and it's got to be straight, so it can't be crooked either. And if you need to, guys, just take off the control arm and do this first, because this is very critical here. You don't want this in crooked, then your whole suspension will be crooked, out of angle. Alright, once you have this thing going, you can push in that axle right there. Make sure the axle's in, and then we can just get this thing going all the way. Alright, like I said, it might bother us because only way to get it straight is to hold it up like that. Alright, but let's get it in as much as we can, and once it sits properly, make sure the axle is, that's another thing, make sure the axle is going in like it's supposed to. So right now it's really tight because it does need to make its own threads. So let me get this bigger one, and then I could just turn it. But like, again, this is gonna bother me there. Do have a lot of ratchets, but right now we got this thing going and I'm not stopping. Till the Typhon is complete. Alright, so it's making threads, it's going, it's rough, but it's going like it's supposed to. Just hurting my hands because it's really hard. Alright, I'm gonna go get better tools than this. Alright guys, when I got me this bit here with the ratchet, snap on, make sure you have it on tight. And look at that. not struggling. All right, it's all the way in, guys, almost, and little bit is left. Make sure your axle is in the spot. Do not forget the spacer, guys. This little guy right here, put this in. All right, I'm gonna go back a little bit with my tool here because there's not enough space in there for the spacer to go in. All right, so go a little bit back, stick it in. So I got it in there. And then you just tighten it. That's it, guys. We're pretty much 90% done here. Let me put this properly. All right, so everything is pretty much done, guys. We need to put our shock in, but the shock does need one of these balls here. So let me see. I think this should be the one. Oh, there goes one on the floor. Let me pick that one up. Alright, so that's gonna be too large. Alright, let me get the screw. So all I need is one of these two. What I'll do is, I'm only gonna pull one out of the package. Alright, bear with me, guys. I'm trying to get one of these to match up in here. And I think that little guy right there should be perfect for me. There's a whole bunch of, so this is a universal thing here. So there's a whole bunch of sizes in here, alright? Yeah, so this has just a good amount of, there's no slack in this, alright? And this needs to go in here. So this just needs to be pushed in. Use a needle nose. And push it in right there, guys. That little piece held us for 2 weeks, about 2 weeks. All right, and I forgot one little guy. I did not forget one little guy. I did loosen this little guy. This is gonna go into that little hole right there. All right, you should be able to get it right from the top, because I did remove it without removing anything when it broke down when I came here. All right. Like, again, guys, it is going to be rough because this new control arm does not have any threads. And this piece is important because this locks, this screw, because it locks down the little bolt here, right? So what it does is it sits and grabs right at the edge end of the bolt. Alright, and there we have it. Typhon is fixed, ready to go back on the road. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. And I am going to put this side in because I did remove this side just to check what was going on, what the piece that I needed to show to the hobby guy. Put that in if you removed it, and tighten the little screw. Bada bing, bada boom, we're done. Alright, guys, we're finished, and there we have our Typhon. It's fixed. Alright, guys, I did forget one thing. This little guy, put this in and put the 2 screws on the bottom, and that's it. Do not forget, because this prevents a shaft from coming out, right? And plus it's the bumper for car. So sorry, thank you, and subscribe, guys. I have my lights off because I was leaving, and I just wanted to end the video by showing the piece that I missed. All right.